this will leave.
I mean, you want a second referendum. Indeed, I think all of you do in the group, because you say the facts have changed. We know a lot more in 2019 than we did in 2016. But the facts have changed in Streatham too, haven't they? They elected a Labour MP. They don't have one now. Don't they deserve a second vote?
Well, I was very clear. I mean, the biggest issue at the last general election in my area was Brexit, and I actually stood on a different Brexit manifesto, as it were, and as a result I got a much bigger increase in the share of the vote compared to, say,
you got elected under the Labour ticket. People voted for you.
I hear you, Andrew, but at the end of the day, under our constitution, and Jeremy Corbyn has said this himself, you elect the individual first and foremost, and the problem with the Labour Party in my area is essentially the National Labour Party broke its contract with my constituents. I didn't. I was very clear that I was always going to fight against a Tory hard Brexit, and there would never be any suggestion that I would facilitate Brexit in any form. That is not what the Labour Party's position has been. There would never be any suggestion that I would facilitate Brexit in any form. That is not what the Labour Party's position has been.
I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people who thinks we should be calling for a second referendum. I think that would just look like the referendum was fought under rules we agreed to, a result was delivered, because we don't like it, we now want to replay it again, which will simply entrench a view that we're some elite who don't want to pay any attention to the people. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel.
So you disassociated yourself from what the Labour manifesto had to say?
I did.
And you think that gets you out of having a second by-election, or a by-election, for you to be elected in your new political status?
Well, I'm clear the basis of our constitution, clear on the basis on which it stood. And by the way, I mean, Brexit is the biggest issue facing our country right now, and parliamentary elections are not going to solve that.
But you know, no matter how big a personality or how well known, party labels matter more. More people, the Labour brand is bigger than any one individual. You ran on the Labour brand. You want a second election on the referendum, but you're not prepared to give the people of Streatham a second election.